Be me, 10 years old. Life is good. Live in a decent suburban house, have a dog, a younger brother. Dad is a typical dad from that era. Works a skilled trade 50 to 60 hours a week. Not a super emotional guy. Shows his love by doing things. Built my treehouse by hand. Taught me how to change a tire. Came to every single one of my soccer games, even if he was dead tired from work. He'd sit in the stands, covered in grease or drywall dust, and cheer me on. Mom was a stay-at-home mom. She was fine, always complaining about being bored. Dad's paycheck paid for everything. The mortgage, the cars, the vacations to Disney. I remember him coming home late, his hands cracked and sore, and he'd still have the energy to throw a ball with my brother in the yard. He wasn't perfect. He and my mom would argue sometimes, usually about money, or more like her spending it. He never laid a hand on anyone, never yelled in a truly scary way, just sounded tired. "We can't afford a new Lexus, Sharon. The Camry is fine," Mom would cry, say he didn't appreciate her. He'd sigh, retreat into the garage to work on his old project car, his only real hobby. This was the background noise of my childhood. One day I come home from school. Mom is sitting at the kitchen table with some woman in a pantsuit. They stop talking when I walk in. Mom's eyes are red, but she's got this weird, triumphant smile on her face. "Honey, your father and I are getting a divorce." I didn't understand. I just started crying. "Why?" "He's not emotionally available. I need to find my happiness." I was 10. What the fuck does that even mean? "He was emotionally available enough to pay for your twice-a-week yoga classes and book club wine." Dad comes home that night. I see him walk up the driveway. He looks tired, like always. He opens the door and Mom is standing there, arms crossed. "You've been served, Michael." I'd never seen a man's face drain of color so fast. He just stood there holding his lunchbox looking like he'd been shot. He didn't fight, didn't yell. He just deflated. That night he slept in the guest room. The next day, he was gone. The legal battle was a fucking massacre. I was too young to get all of it, but I pieced it together later. Mom got a shark of a lawyer. Her friend from yoga recommended him. Dad got some overworked public defender type who clearly didn't give a shit. Mom claimed emotional abuse. Her proof? He worked too much and didn't validate her feelings enough. She said she was scared of his temper. His temper was him sighing loudly when she bought a $400 purse. It was a joke. But the judge, a woman, ate it up with a spoon. No-fault divorce. It didn't matter who did what. The outcome was preordained. The verdict: Mom gets the house. The house he broke his back for 15 years to pay for. She gets the new car. She gets primary custody of me and my brother. She gets alimony. For how long? Years. She gets child support. A massive chunk of his income. What does Dad get? He gets to see his kids every other weekend. He gets to live in a shitty one-bedroom apartment across town. And he gets to work himself into an early grave to pay for a life he's no longer allowed to be a part of. MFW. I realize the system is designed to utterly annihilate a man who did nothing but what society told him to do: work hard and provide for your family. The first time I visited his new apartment, I cried. It was so small and sad. An air mattress on the floor, a folding chair, a small TV on a cardboard box. The only thing on the wall was a framed photo of me and my brother. He tried to be cheerful. "It's not much, but it's home." He made us mac and cheese from a box. He looked 20 years older. The light in his eyes was just gone. He still worked 60 hours a week. But now, the money just vanished. Sent to my mom, who started dating some guy named Chad who managed a GNC. Chad drove Dad's car. Chad slept in Dad's bed in Dad's house. My dad was paying for another man to raise his children. He never complained. Not once. But sometimes I'd catch him staring into space with this haunted look on his face. The look of a man who played by the rules and lost everything anyway. His project car? He had to sell it to pay lawyer fees. That broke my heart more than anything. It was the only thing that was truly his. Fast forward a few years. Be me now in high school. My brother is starting to date. He's a good kid, a lot like Dad. Quiet, hardworking, kind. He saw what happened. He understood. He'd go on dates and the girls would ask what his dad did. He'd tell them. Then they'd ask what his mom did. "She doesn't work." "Oh, so your dad is rich?" My brother would just get quiet. He told me once, "They don't see me. They just see a wallet. They see what they can get." He became cynical about women at 16. Can you blame him? He saw our own mother fleece our father and leave him with nothing but debt and a broken heart. What lesson was he supposed to learn from that? That love is real and marriage is a sacred partnership? El Mayo. He learned that marriage is a business contract where one party has all the liability. I started dating too. My friends were all about the girl power stuff. If he's not spending money on you, he doesn't value you. Make him wait 90 days, test him. Never split the bill. It's the man's job to pay. It sounded like a script. A set of rules for a game I didn't want to play. I'd look at the boys I dated. They weren't evil patriarchs trying to oppress me. They were just guys. Nervous, trying to figure things out. Worried about their future, their careers. One guy I dated for a while was great. Sweet, funny, smart. His parents were also divorced. His dad went through the same meat grinder mine did. He told me he never, ever wanted to get married. It's a trap, he said. Why would I risk everything I work for? For what? So a woman can get bored in 10 years and take half my shit? At the time, I thought he was just being edgy and pessimistic. Now I realize he was being rational. He was performing a risk analysis. And the risk was fucking astronomical. College was even worse. The campus was soaked in this weird anti-male sentiment. Every man was a potential predator. Every disagreement was a microaggression. The concept of personal responsibility was gone. It was all systemic this, patriarchal that. I had male friends who were genuinely terrified. Afraid to talk to a girl at a party, lest it be misconstrued. Afraid to be alone in a room with a female classmate. One friend got accused of assault because of a messy breakup. His life was ruined for months until the girl finally admitted she made it up because she was angry. There were no consequences for her. None. He had to drop out for a semester because of the stress. This is the environment men are navigating. They are guilty until proven innocent. Sometimes, even after. After college, I saw the real world. I watched my female friends get married in their mid-20s. Big, expensive weddings they couldn't afford. The guys they married were good guys. Engineers, accountants, programmers. Stable, reliable men. The kind of men my dad was. A few years go by. The kids pop out. And the script starts. The wife stays home. Starts a mommy blog. Gets into essential oils or some MLM scheme. The husband works longer and longer hours to pay for it all. Then the complaints start. The same ones my mom had. He's never home. We don't talk anymore. He doesn't support my dream of being an artisanal kombucha brewer. Bitch, his dream was probably to be a musician or a forest ranger, but he's working 60 hours a week in a cubicle so you can have a Pottery Barn catalog house and organic baby food. He doesn't have time for dreams. He's funding yours. I have a friend, Sarah. Married a great guy, Mark. 2 kids, nice house, the whole 9 yards. She started getting distant. Started going out with her girlfriends all the time. Mark was worried. He tried to talk to her. She told him he was being controlling. Turns out she was cheating on him with her personal trainer. Mark was devastated. He wanted to try therapy, work it out. Sarah said no. She'd already seen a lawyer. She filed for divorce. The outcome? You guessed it. She got the house, the kids, the alimony, the child support. Mark is now in the same shitty apartment my dad was in 20 years ago, paying for his own replacement. Sarah posts on Instagram all the time. #divorced, #strongwoman, #findingmyhappiness, #you deserve it. She's hailed as a hero by her friends. So brave, so stunning. Mark is a ghost, a walking ATM. His only function now is to produce money. And you ask why men are walking away? It's not just the divorce. It's the whole fucking culture. Dating apps are a nightmare. I've seen my friends' phones. I've seen what women write in their bios. Must be over 6 feet tall. If you don't make 6 figures, swipe left. I have a kid. They're my world. If you can't handle that, you're not a real man. So let me get this straight. A man is expected to be tall, rich, funny, sensitive, but not too sensitive. Have a great job, be a handyman, a therapist, a rock. And in return, he gets what? The privilege of paying for dates with a 32-year-old single mom who calls him a misogynist if he doesn't want to help raise another man's child? The risk of being falsely accused and having his life destroyed? The eventual promise of marriage, which is a statistical coin flip that could end with him losing everything he's ever worked for? The deal is shit. It's an objectively terrible deal. Men aren't stupid. They can do the math. Loneliness is the real pandemic. I see it in my male friends. Good men, kind, loyal, funny men, they're just giving up. They work, they go to the gym, they play video games, they hang out with their male friends. They've built lives for themselves that are insulated from the risk that women represent. It's a fortress of solitude. It's safe, but it's lonely. They want love. They want a family. They want what my dad wanted. But they've seen the cautionary tales. Their fathers, their uncles, their friends. They've seen the battlefield littered with the corpses of good men who just wanted a wife and kids. So they opt out. MGTOW, passport bros, whatever you want to call it. It's not born from hate. It's born from fear. It's a logical response to a system that is hostile to them. And the worst part? Women, my peers, are clueless. Utterly clueless. They complain, "Where have all the good men gone? They went where you sent them. You sent them away. You sent them away with divorce papers and alimony payments. You sent them away with impossible standards on Tinder. You sent them away by celebrating the destruction of the family as a form of female empowerment. You built this. This is the world you wanted. A world where you have all the power and no responsibility. Well, here it is. Enjoy the cats and the box wine, because the good men are gone. They're not coming back. They're not signing up for your rigged game anymore." I talked to my brother about this stuff. He's 24 now, finishing his apprenticeship. He's a good-looking kid, works hard. He doesn't date, at all. He says he's focused on his career, wants to buy a house. But I know the real reason. He told me, "Sis, I look at Dad, and I just can't. I won't let that happen to me. I'd rather be alone forever than end up like him." That's the legacy of modern divorce. It's a generation of young men who see marriage not as a foundation, but as a guillotine. So, did modern divorce laws push men away from marriage? Yes, and it was just the first domino. It created a culture of distrust and resentment that has poisoned everything. It taught women that a man is disposable, a temporary resource to be exploited and then discarded. And it taught men that a woman's love is conditional, temporary, and comes with a list of terms and conditions written by a lawyer. The contract is void. The trust is broken. Maybe it can be fixed. I don't know. But it starts with admitting there's a problem. And the problem isn't men. It's the system we've built that punishes them for the very act of trying to build a family. I try to be a good woman. I really do. I don't play games. I'm honest. I value loyalty and partnership. But I feel like I'm an anomaly. When I tell my girlfriends I think the divorce system is unfair to men, they look at me like I have 3 heads. But what about the wage gap? What about the emotional labor? They've been so thoroughly propagandized, they can't see the humanity on the other side. They just see a list of grievances and a faceless patriarchy to blame. They don't see my dad, alone in his shitty apartment. They don't see my brother, too scared to even try. Anyway, that's my wall of text. MFW, I'm the cool girl, because I think men deserve basic human dignity and fairness. MFW, the bar is so low it's a tripping hazard in hell. I don't know what the future holds. I just hope I can find a man who hasn't been completely broken by all this yet. And I hope to God he never asks me to sign a marriage certificate.